What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Man Card Podcast. This is your Friday 5 p.m. evening dose of the show, or as we like to call it, Man Check. So thank you for tuning in back here in studio as a married man with my main boy, Mitchell Peters. How you feeling?
I'm a little tired today. I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm going to get this energy up.
Get it rolling?
I didn't take no pre-workout today, but we're going to get,
Those boulder shoulders?
Yeah, boulder shoulder workout.
Did you do what is the up plate twist down?
I don't know what they're called, but my friend calls them the bus drivers. The
bus drivers, okay.
Puts it down, yeah.
Because what does that work? It works like back, shoulders.
It's the front part of your I don't know what that's called. Traps, maybe? Your shoulders?
This?
Yeah.
There's no way this is the trap.
Yeah, the traps are up here. I'm saying it might hit your traps and your front of your shoulder.
I was like, I am not a gym rat, but I'm like, the last time I heard that is not
your trap.
A trap right here, baby. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. We are back in my apartment, and we're excited to be with you people. So this past Monday's episode, Mitchell took over the show. So how was that experience?
Oh, it was phenomenal. It's best show yet.
Best show yet.
Best show yet.
Well, hopefully let's make this one the best show yet.
Noah will like to defend his honor, apparently.
Well, okay. There were a couple moments on the show, if I'm completely honest, where you guys, you and Bella both came in guns a-blazing at me. And I don't know if it was on purpose or just like unintentional.
It was fun banter. We enjoyed it. It was more so like... So it first stemmed from the fact that I know Bella does not want a huge wedding or does not want a wedding in general. She's all for the eloping, just going to a courthouse and then maybe a party later on after a honeymoon kind of thing. So I knew when we talked about this wedding that we were going to have differing opinions because I don't know necessarily what I want. I haven't thought about it because I feel like that's like more so my wife's like dream, not thing. My dream thing. We talked about on the podcast.
I thought about my wedding.
I think about the engagement more than I do the wedding.
I heard that.
Yeah, which is what we talked about.
It's such a weird experience. I'm like, I got to listen to something happen that I was not a part of, and then edit it. And I was in the editing suite, and they left me little notes, and they were like, "Hey, sorry, Noah, can you edit this out? And could you like clip this and do that?" And I was like, "No problem."
We said some stupid stuff though, honestly, on the things that should. Yeah. The Hakuna Matata thing. Oh, I
cut that part out faster than you could say white on red. Dude, that shit was gone.
We talked about we wanted since y'all were in Hawaii, we were like, oh, maybe we should do like a Hawaiian quote. And like for whatever reason, we were talking about like Disney at one point, and I was like, is Hakuna Matata Hawaiian? It literally kind of sounds Hawaiian, but then she's like, yeah, that's very African.
If you don't know anything about it, then it definitely comes off as Hawaiian for sure.
But no, instead we got a screwed up misquote, which I loved, honestly.
No, it was
my
good.
Dark humor. So
shout out Annie Warbucks.
But all right, let's go.
You want me to start?
I want you to start because I'll rebuttal back.
All right.
Because I agree, and it wasn't necessarily we didn't do it to be mean or harsh or anything. We were just
got
my notes here.
My notes here.
We did find it funny though that we walked in and you're like toothbrush and we were talking about putting your stuff.
We'll start with that one.
But yeah, your toothbrush and everything. I was like, his bread gonna stank on this on this honeymoon.
So for Bella, who obviously doesn't know me well enough and also has no faith in my ability to pack for the biggest vacation of my entire life. Let's just put it in that context before we debrief. So obviously my best man, Evans, I had a conversation with him beforehand and was like, hey, I'm going to leave all of my stuff behind that I don't need. Because I had about 3 different bags packed. I had the bag packed or really 2. I had the bag packed for Big Canoe. So when we were staying there, that whole experience, which was great. And all of the things, if you notice, most of the things that I left behind, you can't bring on a plane.
Like clothes?
No, like your toothbrush and or the,
you can't bring a toothbrush?
Toothpaste and
your electric toothbrush?
Like any of this stuff. I
know. I was about to say, you
bring that on a plane.
Oh. Yeah, I was about to say, you left an expensive toothbrush. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he...
Well, that was basically my dock kit that I had there that I didn't need because I already had a separate one packed.
Gotcha.
For the trip with all of my under 3 ounce stuff. And so, granted, could I have packed it up better for you guys to adios?
Oh, we didn't care.
For sure.
We didn't sit there and be like, wow, this guy's inconsiderate. Whatever. We didn't care about that. We were just like, yo, like, did he, like, he left everything. Like,
I did.
We were like, oh, boy. Like, did he, like, forget this? And he's going to go on this trip and be like, yo, where's my toothbrush?
The one thing I did actually forget out of the things y'all mentioned was my work phone.
Yeah, that one I was worried about.
I didn't actually need it at all. But we came back here, so I could have easily dropped it off here and then, come back to it when we got back from Hawaii, which, thank goodness to all of the lovely friends that we have, it made it back here regardless. Good. So that was totally fine. But yes, I did forget my work phone.
And even though you set the rule, I had to call you because I was like, I don't know if he needs this. If he's going to take a call, I don't want him to get fired.
No.
Come back from a honeymoon and you don't have a job.
Yeah, you're on the street. I'm sorry. Hate to fill you in. No, super appreciated. But yeah, Evans was supposed to do that. I guess because did you end up taking my room?
You're correct.
Yeah, so that's probably why. Because if he was going to take my room, that would have been, you would have never heard about it.
Oh yeah, no, nothing. Yeah, half the podcast wouldn't have existed. So.
Yeah, so I'm glad it happened. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing because I think we've gone over my cologne enough. Let's see. Evans knew to grab my things. Thank you, Evans. So talking shit on our honeymoon. What the heck was that, dude? You came in guns a-blazing. Oh, hey, where would you go, Mitchell, on your honeymoon? Not Hawaii. What was that all about?
I hate the heat.
Okay.
I honestly, if I had to choose, I would want.
And then you choose to go to Australia, one of the hottest places in the world.
I honestly don't even know if Australia is hot. The only reason I wanted to.
It's a desert.
I honestly didn't know that. 2 reasons. One, like I talked about on the podcast, the show Are You the One? It just looked beautiful. I was like, yo, this is some crazy stuff. Number 2, if you think about all of world history, and maybe you know more than I do, when has Australia ever been in like a fight or like a battle or a war with anybody? Like they just seem nice. They're peaceful.
The reason they haven't been in a war is 1, well, they're an island. 2,
they're a huge island.
They were a debtors colony. So that was Europe and England specifically sent over all of their paupers and criminals to Australia.
Great.
So not only the animals and all of the wildlife is trying to kill you, everybody there tries to kill you.
Nice. Okay, maybe I don't want to go. See, these are things I want to know.
Australia's a very decent place now.
Ultimately, if it was up to me, I would get married in the cooler time of year, and then I would do like up in the mountains, cabin, skiing. That would be my ideal. That's cool. Just not traditional, and that's not what most.
I mean, it's a destination wedding, for sure. I mean, that's kind of what we did.
I feel like most brides or wives want to do a beach or a tropical paradise.
You mentioned that, okay? Because it's funny. My I guess cousin. I guess it's cousin. Is it cousin? I don't know. Not worth getting into. One of the guys I'm related to in my family. He got married to his now wife in Florida, in Seaside, Florida, like way back when I was like a little bitty boy. Mm-hmm. And I remember going to that wedding, and it was like during red tide and all that stuff. And so they basically had to relocate their wedding from on the beach to the Seaside Chapel. So they had to like make that transition. Yeah. The reception stayed the same because it was back in the back of Seaside anyway. But regardless, all that to say, they were at the wedding. So it was kind of like a full circle thing of like,
we went to yours, you come to mine.
I literally was a child when I came to
I show you yours, you show me mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope, that's not right.
No, that's it.
Yeah. I'll show me yours, you show me mine. That was not right what I said.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you look in a mirror often. What's that movie? You haven't seen it. Never mind.
I don't see any movies. Apparently, I haven't seen Disney movies. I can't even quote Hakuna Matata correctly. So
that's okay. I forgive you.
All right.
I'm not too worried about it. Bella, on the other hand, she was like, Mitchell, now come on. That's like bottom tier. That's like baseline.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Is what she said very nicely.
Look, hey, I don't think you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. Most of the time. Okay, so shit on our honeymoon, that's fine. We wanted to go to Hawaii because
I would love to visit Hawaii at some point in my life. It's a great place. I can't get out of Georgia.
Although it's a lot of hippies and obviously the great local people that are there and stoners, like a lot of stoners. Like literally, we were walking to the beach, and is this black sand beach, also happened to be a nude beach, and on our way there, this like island girl, it wasn't an island girl, it was like some hippie girl, like pulled up in her car, like on the side of the road, like pulled off to like talk to us as we were walking to the beach. And she literally was like, "Hey, you got any shroomies?" And we were like, no. Like, do we look like we have shroomies?
Yeah, apparently, she pulled over on her destination to ask.
Yeah, she was like literally like, "Oh, those people look like they have shrooms."
Those are some high guys.
And she skirted off too. She was like, "Oh shit, wrong people." So she left. But
is it legal? Is marijuana legal in Hawaii?
I have no idea. I would think so.
I would think so too.
I mean, with how many like hippies are out there, like I feel like it would need to be legal.
Gotcha.
For them to stay. They'd be like, you know what, never mind, I'm gonna leave. Also, if it was illegal, like I saw like maybe one cop on the whole island, and we were on the big island. So I was like, okay, well, if nobody's here to enforce it, then let's shroom it up.
It's not illegal till you get caught.
No, well, of course not. Oh, okay. So this is the one that I really wanted to get to, which was mom and dad's fighting. This is when we were setting up the chairs.
Oh, yeah. That one I was like, I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
So Bella got upset on the podcast at me for saying that quote to Ellie, for saying that I don't think this was your idea.
Yes.
Yes. She's also gotten upset at me for saying other things to Ellie that is a non-issue.
Yep.
So that's just a consistent thing with Bella is, I guess, she's an advocate for other people, which is great. I love it. But in this situation, it ironically wasn't Ellie's idea. Because
I know it wasn't.
She had come up to me beforehand and was like, and I told her, I had this conversation with her separately. I was like, hey, it would probably work better to get these chairs off the hill if we scooted it down. And she said, no, we don't want to scoot it down because it's going to be too far away from where I crossed the bridge. Mm-hmm. And I was like, done. That makes too much logical sense for my logical brain. That's what we're going to go with. We're going to keep them where they are. That's money.
Yeah.
So then I round the hill, and all of a sudden I see all the groomsmen and bridesmaids
moving everything up.
And I don't run up, but I walk into the situation and exert myself. I'm like, okay, wait, hold on, what's happening? Like, none of these people were privy to our conversation. I know this isn't your opinion.
Yep, I was sat there.
Where did this come from?
Thank God I wasn't the one that said it. I want to be in this wedding. I don't want to leave. I don't want to be kicked out.
All of the guys knew that this is where the chairs were. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the girls randomly arrive and go, no, the chair's got to move, which makes sense. Of course, the girls said, the guys do something stupid. The girls come, fix it. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. But this conversation had girls involved, guys involved, and then the chairs get moved somehow. So I come up, I'm like, okay, there's no way this was your opinion. Because we had this conversation.
Well, the funny thing is, you're like, I know this wasn't you. Like, who told you that?
Who told you
And
this?
I was like, oh, thank God it wasn't me. I don't know who it was.
I think what ended up happening was the girls came up, and this just kind of happens in groups of girls, is like something is mentioned regardless of who says it, and then it's just super internalized. It's just like, oh my gosh, some of the people that I hold very high in regard are saying something that I, in the back of my mind, held as a concern. Mm-hmm. And they said that the first thing. Mm-hmm. So Ellie went immediately to, we got to move the chairs. So we moved the chairs, which was great. Mm-hmm. I had to leave because I was frustrated.
I think it was a good decision to move the chairs personally, just because I think the hill was a little too much. Someone would be literally holding themselves up on those chairs.
No, it definitely was the best call. Absolutely. But I definitely had to remove myself from that situation.
I was like, whoa, this is tense.
I would have just gotten too PO'd. And then not 30 seconds after I left, the girls left and went and got lunch. So it was like,
we had a lot of fun about that.
Entire situation and the entire weekend was basically the running joke of, oh, here, let me help. Oh, hold on, lunch is here.
Lane literally handed me a chair the second it hit 12:45.
They saw the car come down the hill. They were like, oh, there's lunch. We're out. Sorry, here you go.
It was funny.
It was a good running joke. Okay, let's see. Okay, so y'all were going a little wild on Monday about hiding the photographer at the engagement.
Yes, I don't know how you do that. And
have you seen my engagement photos?
No, I have not.
Oh, that's what?
Yeah, I haven't seen your engagement photos. I might have seen one or two on the dot.
I definitely posted one.
Yeah, I think I saw one or two. But I think we were talking about how to do an how we would do an engagement, And it's like, I don't know if I'd want like parents there or not do that, or how do you hire a photographer to make them, if you're casually on a beach where y'all are like the only ones on the beach and someone's just out there taking photos randomly of the sunset and then all of a sudden it turns to like, how do you hide that from the person if you're like,
so I've been in both roles. So I've been the person who's obviously proposing, and one of my really good friends, Ziad, what's up, dude? Love you. Thank you for shooting those photos. He came, and it was like, it was at my uncle's lake house, and so under the deck, there was a lot of space where he can just stand and hide out. And I had Ellie blindfolded kind of coming down the stairs, and then I took off her blindfold, and she just started walking forward to the dock. So she never knew that he was there. He was kind of just hiding out there for maybe like 30, 40 minutes. But I ended up shooting Evans's oldest brother's engagement photos.
Wasn't it like a hike or something?
Yeah. So he literally like took her on a hike during her lunch break, and I was just like,
that's the best lunch break of her life.
I know, right? She was like, I'm unready. I'm like, it wasn't dressed up or whatever. But it didn't matter. It was great. And so I was the random weird guy out on the trail with my camera, just taking photos of a bush. And then she told me later, she was like, yeah, we came over the hill and we saw you. And I turned to Harrison and I was like, hey, who's this creep? Who's this?
It's not that
weirdo?
interesting of a bush.
Yeah, it's like, is he taking photos of a bush right now?
Some National Geographic shit going on here.
I was like, there better be a bird in there because that's otherwise very creepy. So it literally like he came down, started talking to her, and I just like whip panned over and started taking photos. But that worked out great too. So it's like you can kind of hide in plain sight kind of thing. You don't really think anything of it until later, and then you're like, oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And Evans was hiding behind a tree. So we were both there.
So like the thing, not saying, thinking of a proposal anytime soon, but I think with Bella just reads me too well, better than someone ever should. That like I don't even know how I'd even go about that if that were to be the case later in the future. I don't even know. Like I literally honestly I just had to be like, look, it's coming up, just be ready. Like you free at like 5 because this is happening kind of thing.
Something's happening. Well, okay, so one of our other friends, Olivia and Nick, shout out, you guys are amazing. She does her own pottery. She literally got her own kiln that she has in her studio.
We're actually going hiking with them this weekend.
No way. Because so Bella really hit it off with Olivia, so that's really awesome. I love how weddings just bring people together. But they're super fun. I want to get everybody together, dude. Like everybody's friends now.
Yeah, no, me too.
Like, which is so cool.
All the guys, yes, I've been dying to hang out with everybody.
The guys are all tight. The girls all loved each other, which I mean, like I can get guys like kind of like, I don't like you, but I'm gonna hang out and be be friends. I could see girls getting together in that context and like going nuclear. Like, I hate you. I do not like you. We are not going to hang out ever again. Which I would be more concerned about that than the guys not getting along.
Oh, no, the guys got along fantastically. Yeah. Better than I expected, personally.
Oh, famously.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to get everybody back together. So on to the last point here. Talk about getting along and being in a good mood. Bella accused me of being the groomzilla. She didn't say those words, but I just said those now, of the wedding, which I thought was hilarious because I felt like I was calm, cool, and collected, except for the one thing with the chairs, pretty much the whole time. You can please disagree with me.
No, I think... obviously I did not hang out I wasn't near Ellie at all the weekend. Just so all Bella knew was whatever I told her.
That's true.
And so I knew the whole little thing with the chairs. I was like, okay, this is like the first time I've seen Noah get like that. I was like, I'm a little scared. And then the only other thing, and it wasn't necessarily like you blew up or anything, but I could tell like if this didn't work, you were like going to be antsy, was the lights, which when we showed up and the lights weren't on, I was like, we spent hours. Noah was very adamant on like how he wanted it. He drew up a diagram, like he knew how he wanted this set up, and it is not on right now. And so I was like a little worried. I was like, Noah might get pissed. Like he might like freak out. And so which you didn't, but you made sure it got solved. You were definitely very adamant on getting it fixed.
Well, it was more of a pride thing. I think for me, I took on the pride of getting that done from all of the guys, and I was like, man, I can't just let these guys have worked for like 2 hours up to midnight on these stupid lights the night before the wedding for them not, like 90% of them to not come on.
Yeah.
Simple solution. Evans literally like walked around, got an extra power cable, and just plugged it into the next junction. And boom, they came on.
Yeah.
So literally a non-issue. And it's so funny in life. You come to all of these, like, it's like, that's a big deal. It's like your wedding day and the lights aren't coming on. Like, what more could go wrong? I mean, like, there's plenty more things that could go wrong, but like, what more could go wrong? It's always best, and I'm still learning this lesson, to always respond a level down and just be like, okay, this is not a big issue. If it doesn't work, no problem. Because sometimes if you do freak out, and it is a super simple solution, you just look like an idiot.
Yep.
You look like an idiot. And I've been burned more times than I care to admit for flipping out and then coming back to like, that's just a super simple fix.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. I just think back, and obviously no one was there to testify again, like say that I did this, but I did do this. I was in my basement working on a coding project, and literally coding can be the simplest thing. It could literally be a one line of code. It could be literally a semicolon. It could be the smallest thing. But like, I literally had to freak out in my basement. No one was around me because, like, obviously I wouldn't do that in front of anybody. But like, I literally sat there at my computer and started screaming at my computer as if it was like, whatever. And I was like, to the point where I was gonna punch my computer and just be like, done. And then, there was a small solution. I just like went through the line of code, and I was like, oh,
there's a parenthesis.
God, I hope there's not a camera. My dad has cameras places. Like, this is embarrassing.
This is awkward.
I was like bouncing my chair. I was like, what in the? I was screaming. Yeah.
Man, I literally feel your pain so hard.
I've had that happen, and I've had it publicly happen. Not necessarily coding, but just things where I freaked out over.
My freakouts rarely happen in front of, like, in a public setting. Mine always happen in the family setting.
Same. That's what I think.
Always. And I don't know if it's because I feel most comfortable with those people that I'm okay to like just lose my shit, which that shouldn't be the case. Like, those are the people that I care most about. So
it's always the other way around. It should be, if you're going to do it on somebody you don't give a crap about.
Right. But also that's bad too, because it's like, then everybody else that's watching in public is like, wow, that dude's an asshole.
Exactly.
So it's like, really, it's a lose-lose. But I always lose my shit at home. Like, rarely, very rarely lose my shit out in public. I can usually control it. I don't know. It's just such a strange occurrence to me.
Yeah. I think I lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I sit there and think of all the times I've lost my shit at home, which is a lot of times. And I think what fuels it is like, what fuels it is the fact that like my parents and my sisters gave it back to me with the same, if not higher energy. So it just escalates. Like, it'd be different if someone's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, they calm down, like they try to calm me down, but no, like, I look at somebody, I'd be like, did you eat my donut? Boom, it is on. Like, we're screaming at each other. Inconsiderate, like, why would you do that? Go buy me another one. I don't give a crap about your gas money. I want 3 to replace the one. Yeah, it's just crazy.
That's fine. I need donut tax, donut interest. Look, every single day I don't have a donut on my desk is another half a donut interest. So you're up to 3 donuts, bitch.
You know what's funny? My sister Sarah, recently sent me a text because there's chicken nuggets. I heated them up, and there's Zach sauce in the fridge, so I used it. There's no name on it. And literally 2 days later, I get a text message from my sister. Said, "Did you eat my Zach sauce?" And I knew where it was going. I knew she was going to be pissed. And then,
that's when you just shut up and Venmo her $1.
No, I was like, I said no. I was like, even though I did. Oh, no. At first, I said, "Nah, it wasn't me, dog." And she's like, "Yeah, no, it was you." I was like, "Yeah, it was." And she started screaming at me, "You're inconsiderate. If it's not yours, don't touch it. Why would you touch it?" I was like, "Listen here, bub. I did go to Zaxby's recently, and I did put one in the fridge, but I remember now that I threw it away because it got old, and I ate yours anyway." So, yeah. But anyway, we had hostile text messages to each other.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny, me and food, I'm never a Joey doesn't share food kind of situation. Sounds like your family is a little bit more uptight about that, because I always find it funny. So our family tradition is like family fun night Fridays. So we would do like pizza and a movie pretty much like every Friday for my whole
Y'all
life.
still do that?
Yeah.
Probably.
We're going.
Really?
Yeah, we're going on Friday.
Tomorrow? Or no, not tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Wow.
What day is it, dude? I lose track.
I
of
thought
days
today
so
was Thursday.
easily.
I don't know why.
Tuesdays and Thursdays
Yeah.
switch on me all the time.
Yeah. Well, today is Friday. Shit.
It's Friday somewhere.
No. Okay, we screwed that one up big time. Anyways, it is Friday.
But yes,
today.
yes, I do. We were planning on going home this Friday and doing another family fun night, and this will be the first family fun night as a married couple. Going back. So Abby and her boyfriend will be there. What's up, Cade? Ellie and I will obviously be there, and my mom and dad. And so we'll have some pizza. I can't even remember what the point where I was going with that.
Just family fun night.
Just family fun night.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, we were just talking about banter, and y'all are gonna have fun stuff.
So like pizza. So we'd have leftover pizza, right? And obviously that would go into the fridge. And it was really a first come first serve kind of situation.
As it should be. I feel
so. It's like Saturday. If Saturday passes and the pizza made it to Sunday, that was a miracle and a half. So sometimes I'd wake up Saturday and I'd eat the pizza, which is fine. Sometimes I'd wake up, late Saturday, the pizza would be gone. That's fine. Other times I'd forget about the pizza. I'd be doing something on Saturday, get to Sunday, and it's still there. And I'm like, oh man, yes, everybody else forgot about the pizza too. So then I get to eat it.
Yeah.
But it's really first come, first serve, as it should be, but I don't know. Just don't eat Ross's sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know what I just said.
No, Friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got both your references
Yes.
there. I got both of them there.
Yes,
the other
that
one,
is rare.
The other one, I already forgot. Doesn't share his food. Wow, I already forgot his name.
Joey doesn't share food. Yeah,
Yep.
that's it. Well, we're coming up here on the end of the podcast. Don't want to go over because we've done that way too many times. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
No problem. It's all on my way.
This is just really a glorified way for me to defend myself against your significant other.
Right.
So I'm gonna straight at you, Bella. Just straight up, not a don't at me situation. I'm coming for you. No, I love you. I'm kidding. Thanks for stopping by, and check us out on Spotify. Check us out on Apple Podcast. And send us an email, mancardpod@gmail.com, and our wonderful website, mancardpodcast.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday.
Adios.